way back in, I think it was 1923, H.G. Wells generally he wrote a lot of science fiction, but he also wrote many political essays and treatises. He wrote this book called The Open Conspiracy: Blueprints for a World Revolution. There's a few versions of this which have updated, he's just tweaked it a little bit. I've read this book, and I can tell you that it is a eugenics book. It's a population control book. That part of it doesn't get openly discussed until the very, very end, the last few chapters, that they first and foremost have to busy themselves with improving the human race and reducing population and also ending war. This is their big sales pitch. They have to end war. We have to remember, this was written in between the First and Second World War. They were trying to form the League of Nations, which they did. And then eventually this morphed into the United Nations after World War II. He talks a lot about who they're going to look for and how they're going to do this. Because he says if they operate in secret, that will just invite scoundrels in. So it has to be wide open. They have to do it out in the open, but they have to be subversive about it. I mean, there's whole chapters on how it has to be a movement of propaganda. Oh yes, right here. Chapter 12, the open conspiracy must begin as a movement of explanation and propaganda. Because they have to sell their worldview to other people. And how they're going to do this mostly, I mean, what I got most out of this book was that they wanted to redirect the religious impulse that was in people and take it away from believing in God and believing in the virtues expounded in the Bible and redirecting that impulse into communitarianism, communism, basically. I mean, he calls it the world commonweal. The world commonweal, where men will subjugate their desires for the greater good. So they're going to take people who are naturally religious, they're going to talk them out of that towards scientific progress and humanism, and then they're going to slowly insert their agenda into all of the groups that these people belong to. That is talked about openly in the book. They shouldn't really start their own groups. They should infiltrate other groups and gradually talk all the people into replacing their normal religious practices with quasi-religious practices that apply to building world communism, the world commonweal.